Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Mary Beth?
Councilwoman Chapman?
Here.
Councilman Cookingham?
Here.
Councilman Deegan is absent. Councilman Reifenberg?
Here.
Supervisor Albrecht?
Here.
Town Attorney Emily Swenson?
Here.
All present.
I'd like to make a motion I would like to add 14D under items for special consideration, approving change order for Katie Field basketball court installation.
So,
17th, 2025, for his many years of dedicated service to our community. Mr. Kirchhoff began his public service on January 1st, 1970, and he was appointed both as deputy supervisor and councilman. He continued to serve faithfully in those different roles until December 31st, 1973, leaving behind a legacy of commitment and leadership. Councilman Kirchhoff served on board committees, and his impact was deeply felt through his work on several important areas. He was actively involved in land acquisition, finance, the disposable site, insurance, and the building property committee, where he has served as chairman. He brought steady guidance and care to these responsibilities, and after year, and a genuine desire to do what was best for his community. In 1970, Councilman Kirchhoff was instrumental in the town, Councilman Kirchhoff was instrumental in helping the town board adopt a significant resolution, one that established the no parking snow ordinance. This ordinance ensured that from November 1st to April 15th, parking would be restricted on town roads to allow a safer and more efficient snow removal. It was a meaningful step forward and protected both drivers and town workers during the winter months. That same year, Councilman Kirchhoff worked to gather information on the hospital and health insurance options for town employees. He also began collaborating with officials from neighboring towns to explore the possibility of a joint refuse site, showing his commitment to practical and shared solutions that benefited everyone. On April 18, 1970, he was asked to run for the position of supervisor as a reflection of respect others had for him. Though he ultimately declined due to personal obligations, it was clear that his leadership had already made a strong impression. On March 10, 1971, Councilman Kirchhoff was appointed to the committee asking to make key decisions about the future of the town's infrastructure. The committee was tasked with determining whether all private roads should be made town roads. 1972 was a pivotal year in our town's history. During this time, Councilman Kirchhoff played a role in shaping the future of our community. Through his dedication and leadership, he was instrumental in sparking the town's interest when acquiring what we know now as the existing town hall. Thanks to his efforts and his town board and his commitment to keeping the public informed with continuous updates, the town successfully purchased and transferred the Grand Union Building on July 28, 1972. What was once just a building became the heart of our local government and a space that continues to service our residents to this day. Later on that year, on November 8, 1972, he shared a quiet truth during a town board meeting, one that still carries meaning today. It is not possible to get qualified people to work for low salaries. A simple statement, spoken without fanfare, yet it reflected his understanding of what it takes to build a strong and dedicated workforce. In 1973, he played a role in restructuring the town government, leading efforts to transition the town board to a second-class town status. This change established a 4-councilman system and removed the town justice position from the board. He continued his search for a new refuse site. His efforts led to the purchase of the land, which eventually would become the highway department and the refuse station. As part of that same acquisition, he ensured the inclusion of 13.34 acres for recreational use, land which is now known as Bauer Park, and during this time, Helen Aldrich Park was also named. He served on a special committee tasked with investigating and reporting on the feasibility of a centralized sewage system, continuing his dedication to the long-term infrastructure and planning and the health of the community. During a town board discussion regarding the exclusion of non-residents from participating in Pleasant Valley recreation programs, Councilman Kirchhoff firmly expressed that if the programs were valued, excuse me, Councilman Kirchhoff firmly expressed that if the programs were valued enough to inspire such interest, those wishing to be involved should consider making Pleasant Valley their home. He played a role in the dog ordinance of 1973, which was later adopted into local law. For many years, he stood as a devoted supporter of his wife's and her efforts in running the Rent-A-Kid program. Through the tasks like shoveling snow, raking leaves, mowing lawns, along with countless odd jobs, the program helped keep local youth engaged, responsible, and connected to their community. In 1979, dedicated to his unwavering service and commitment, he was honored by Supervisor Veeder, Councilman Andrews, Councilman Butts, Councilman Levin, and Councilman Szynski with a certificate of appreciation. Councilman Kirchhoff served quietly, without seeking recognition. His generosity was often unseen, but it was always felt, consistently putting the town's needs first. His legacy endured not only as a smart and successful businessman, but through the many policies he shaped and the people he supported along the way. We remember him today with gratitude, respect, and sincere admiration for a lifetime devoted to his service to others. The town board, the town employees, and I offer the Kirchhoff and the Albrecht families our deepest condolences, and I'm asking the town board to make a motion on the floor tonight to lower the flag for 3 days and approve a blank minute page dedicated to the memory of Councilman Kirchhoff.
I'll make a motion.
Special thanks goes out to my deputy town clerks, Kathy Miller and Debbie Dougal, for all their hard work and research into the past minutes to find out all of this very detailed information that we had tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Public hearing. No, that's all right. Thank you. I'd like a motion to reopen the public hearing, continuation of proposed local law number L of 2025, entitled Town of Pleasant Valley Property Maintenance Law for purposes of commencing the local law adoption process.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Can I just be recognized?
please.
For a second? So,
Yep.
if you watched the previous, I think it was the previous town board meeting, it was the first time it came to a public hearing. We had the public hearing at the beginning of the meeting. We didn't have a discussion as a board till later on in the meeting, so we had to either close the public hearing or keep it open. We kept it open till today because we hadn't discussed it yet. I'm just speaking for myself, but I don't see a reason to, we want to hear from you if you haven't spoke about it so we can make this law better. But my opinion is at the end of this, we would close it and just rewrite and start from the scratch again. So if you came here to speak about it, we still want to hear it because maybe we can make whatever new that we're working on better. But just knowing that I think probably the majority of the board has no intention of passing the law that the
Right.
public hearing's for tonight.
Correct.
And listening to what the people said, to, see what you guys want also, to change it the correct way.
So they would do that now, right? Anybody that would like to speak about the local law can get up and maybe you can give us some ideas of what we can improve.
Gary Veeder, Salt Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. I just reiterate remarks I made at the previous meeting. We seem to be quick to adopt these laws that really affect a small part of our community. This big law for really not too many of these properties. It does not exempt pollinators, which I'm not. I mow my lawns. I'm not mowing lawns, but people do believe in the pollination for bees and so forth, and it's a good cause. It doesn't exempt that, and it's going to be very difficult to enforce without added salaries. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Mrs. Polk, Park at Kennel Road, Pleasant Valley, New York. I was just wondering if the town ever considered, rather than punishing, and because there are people that need some assistance in maybe removing debris, is there anything where we can look into maybe every year, having a removal, hey, bring everything, trash removal for free? Which would help, because there's some people that obviously can't afford to pay to remove debris or pay the trash. Something to encourage rather than discourage. It's just a thought, perhaps something that can help, because there's a lot of poor people, the taxes are high, people are just living paycheck to paycheck, they work, something for trash removal, perhaps an incentive might help. Just a thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rocco DeVito, 66 Drake Road, Pleasant Valley. I came to the last meeting. I had stated things that I disagreed with in it the last time. I'll just reiterate and kind of agree with Gary that, there's only a couple of circumstances for this law to go in for right now. And if those people move on from this town, then we're stuck with the laws. And it's only a couple of properties that I know of that are really why they want this law to go through. But I think that it could be more harmful because it could turn neighbor against neighbor. Somebody could use it whenever they want, just in case you're having a disagreement, your neighbors change, maybe somebody moves in next door, and they want to use this law, and you guys would have to abide by the law because you're putting it in. And I feel that it's just going to do a lot more harm. I agree with the junk removal. I think there's something, maybe 1 day, 2 days. I mean, there's a bunch of days that we could do it, really, if we're going to increase taxes. We could have a whole bunch of junk removal days. Maybe the transfer station, I don't know if that's separate or not, but maybe they can take a couple more things, because I know there's no brush allowed at the transfer station. So if brush removal is on the list in the law, maybe we can allow the transfer station to be able to take brush and debris. That would help out a lot in the town. Otherwise, like I said, I think that it's just going to open up harder and turn neighbors against each other, and I don't think it's going to be beneficial for the town. It's going to raise the taxes. Let's try to keep them down. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of the regular town board meeting and public hearing, 9/15/25, and the special town board meeting of 9/29/25.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All official correspondence is on file in the town clerk's office. There are no presentations. At this time, I'd like to open a motion to open the public comment section of the meeting for agenda items only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to speak?
You know me, Arun Fricker, 117 Valley View Road. This is less about anything specifically on the agenda and more about the format of the discussion and the agenda, because I don't know exactly what is going to be on the agenda, like the description of what's supposed to comment on for the most part, until I get here, and then I have to formulate my thoughts in like the 10 minutes until now.
Do you see the agenda online?
I can get there, but I don't know if everyone is going online
And it's
doing
on
that.
Facebook
But
also.
my point is that this happened last time as well, where we had a public comment, and then there were things that were discussed, and then there were public comments that wanted to discuss on the things that were in the agenda. So there needs to be some, I think there is a reason to adjust the format. I think the last town board was probably the most engagement and the best kind of interaction that I've seen from the public and the board that I've seen since I've been coming, and I think I want that to be more of the case. So I think that we should be either providing more of a background on what's being discussed, because it's just a line on the agenda doesn't give me a lot of information on what is going to be discussed in this meeting. So that's it. That's all.
Thank you.
Can I just fill you in, because you weren't here at the last meeting? So, it kind of slipped in, and so number 16 used to say only new items. Now it's any business, so I get it, like 12 and 13, they're just titles. You're not going to really know unless you talk to somebody what we're going to be discussing, but none of those we're really acting on. So it used to be that you wouldn't be able to get up at the end of the meeting and talk about any of the stuff we just talked about. But now that doesn't say just new items only, you can get up again after we discuss all of this stuff. If you go, hey, Supervisor Albrecht said this, I like the idea, but maybe she can look at it this way, you have the opportunity at the end. And then another thing that we added, which I don't know if you noticed or not, but number 17, town board comments. Instead of a back and forth during the comments, which I'm breaking right now, but I think it's important because the supervisor wasn't here, so I'm just trying to lay out like what we did is you can get up and make your comments, but there was never kind of like a time for us to actually like, okay, well, that was really good, let's get that on the next agenda, or be able to, it was kind of this back and forth thing. So we have the town board comments at the end, which could be announcements, whatever. So I get it. The town boards in the 6 years I've been paying attention have tried 10,000 different ways to do it, and it's never 100%, but I think we're slowly chipping away and getting there. But I'm just filling you in because things did change, so.
And that was,
Appreciate it.
the other thing is when you say something and you can actually get a response in that area from one of the board members, and that way you know that you were heard. That's our other big thing, you know, not that you get up there for your 3 minutes and then you're like, did they even hear me? And that's why we tried to open that up, so, no, I agree.
Gary Vader, South Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. I think it would be handy on the agenda, one thing today is we have a resignation of Ms. Perez, but we don't have the position that she's leaving, which is interesting because I would assume it opens a position and gives somebody thought maybe they're interested, so I would like to see a little bit more than to accept the resignation. And the second thing is the tax override. I don't know about anybody else, but the school tax is killing us. I would really hope that you could sharpen your pencil and not need this motion. Thank you.
Anyone else? At the end you can. Do you want to talk about something that's on the agenda? No. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay, I'd like a motion to close the public comment portion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I thought it was. Okay, so number 12 is new business discussion. 12A is a discussion of local law M of 2026 override of tax levy limit for fiscal year 2026. This is something that we do every year because you never want to get caught just in case. The chances of this happening are usually extremely slim, as you know from the tax bills in the past several years. But we do put it through because we have to be very cautious of that.
Can I just ask a couple questions? Do we, I was looking for it and I can't find it, but do you know off the top of your head with the budget that was given to us, how close we are to the tax cap? Because I know it changes. Are we close? Are we not
No.
close? We're not close. And this might be a question for Emily, but let's say for some reason we didn't pass this, and let's say some crazy emergency happened where we need to put something into the budget that would make it go above the tax cap. If we used fund balance as a revenue source in the budget to tax people less, would that keep us below the tax cap?
Well, the tax cap is on taxes, so
So,
I think the answer is yes, if I
Yes,
understand
yeah.
correctly.
so I'm just going to put this out here. We've been trying to chip away at this fund balance and invest, which we've been doing a great job. You're not very close to being at the tax cap at all. Is it-
Using some of that.
Well, I'm just wondering, is it safe to say that, like, if we found ourselves in a pickle this year, that we would just use the fund balance to cover whatever is to stay below the tax cap and just maybe pass this by for a year to force us if we found ourselves in that situation? Because we keep talking about, and we have the fund balance policy and stuff on later, but like, if we found ourselves in that situation, maybe we should just, instead of taxing people more, maybe use the taxes that were collected in past years, is just my opinion. I know I've supported this in the past, but like, if we found ourselves in that situation, I would rather us just use fund balance at this point. I hope we don't find ourselves in the next month, but also it causes a lot of anxiety. You know for a fact, every year we have a bunch of people that get really upset about this.
Yeah.
We've never used it. The intention is never to use it, but I feel like if there was a year not to use it, maybe this is the year.
I agree.
That's just my opinion.
I know everybody gets nervous and stuff, but it really, in the long run, for the sake of everything, we are better off having this, because if something, God forbid, happened, and we didn't have this in place, we would be in trouble. The chances of us ever using this while I'm up here are very slim, and him too, very slim. But, you know, normally I would say okay, but I don't know. It's up to everybody. If they would like to just bypass it, that's fine.
Well, we have the resolution later.
Right.
I'm just, for the discussion is,
Yeah,
we
it's
really
up-
need
it's
to
up
think
to
about it. We
everybody.
have
That's
millions
fine.
of dollars that were collected in taxes already. I'm just wondering if, to save everybody the anxiety, would we be open to potentially not doing this year? And if we found ourselves for some reason, we could just tap into the fund balance, which is already taxpayers' money.
I don't know. I'm more comfortable passing it just because it's more of a protection thing. And like Mary said, we've never used it. And it just protects us. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
know last year people were losing their mind over it, but
I've been
It's-
criticized by a lot of other towns that we even pass this because they don't understand why we do this. So we're kind of unique, I think. Other people call me and say, well, I saw the thing in the newspaper.
Can we put it on hold until after we go through the budget and stuff?
Well, so the reason it's a recommended practice is that you have to do this by local law, and it takes time to set the hearing and
Right.
everything. So
Right.
if you, it's a recommended thing to do it, just to have it in place, and then if you don't end up needing it, by the time the budget is adopted, you can repeal it.
Which is what we've done
Exactly.
for the past 3 years.
One other thing you could do is go ahead and set the hearing, but then decide before you actually vote on the law whether you need it or not, you know.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
resolution is just to set the hearing tonight?
Set the hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that it? Scott, is that you okay with all?
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, I have to try to find this. Okay, 12B is accepting the resignation of Michelle Suarez, who was in a recreation clerk position, which is something I was gonna say, so, but I'm glad you said it. I'm not gonna read the letter, but she already had to leave last Friday. We weren't able to do a meeting by the time she was leaving.
You need a motion for this?
Do we need to?
Brooke recommends that we just accept the resignation so it's on the record of the
Okay.
date.
So I'll make
So
a
I'm-
motion to accept
yeah.
this resignation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, 12C, Grounds and Maintenance Department Head. Councilman
Yes.
Reifenberg.
So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. We heard from Todd at the last meeting. He's amazing. Like, we all were involved with hiring him. I'm just curious, how is the day-to-day operations working? Because I was expecting, and this isn't a criticism, but I was expecting him to have a worksheet presenting his asks for the department, and to be presenting as well. So is he acting as the department head of grounds and maintenance? Because that was kind of the whole reason we ended up doing that.
Yeah, he completely runs
Okay.
everything.
So can we get him up to speed, like, let him do his thing?
He does do his own thing.
Okay, like budget, all that stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
He went in, he gave it to Melanie and I. Yep.
So,
Because
the
the
meeting
worksheet-
you weren't here, he was talking about a tractor and stuff like that. That would be stuff that I'd like him to present then, because he was stating if he had a tractor, he could have mulched and stuff like that. So,
Right.
I mean, that's something I'd like him to have on this budget, so we're not wasting time.
Yeah, I think
No
he
way.
has some,
We still have some funds that Melanie and I thought we should use for the sign unappropriate, how do you say that?
appropriation.
Appropriated fund balance, yeah, that we thought would be better to take it from instead of putting it into the budget.
The only reason I was asking is because on the worksheet where it said requested by department, it had supervisor in there. So it didn't, and it
It
seemed,
didn't have his.
it didn't have his
yeah.
asks.
His
And I just want to make sure that
His
he's,
asks were in there, except for the tractor,
okay,
yes,
that's all.
yeah. Okay, 12D, Human Resources for Employees and Legislative Aid.
So at one point, we had been brought up that there was potentially a third-party company that we were, and then it was.
She's gonna be here on the 20th,
Okay, so we're still looking into that.
yes.
The legislative aid, we advertised at the meeting, you weren't here. Are we getting people to apply? Have people been applying?
No, actually, what I would like to do is, I don't feel that there's a need for a full-time legislative aid.
Okay, so we need to talk about
So I
that
would like
because the
to-
board already
yeah.
authorized the clerk to
Yeah,
advertise.
I would like to change it to a part-time position, which would also save our town a lot.
Okay, so what's the
I'd like to
plan
do a
with that?
20-hour-a-week position as a legislative aid. Name it something other than a legislative position or assistant to the supervisor or something like that. Because we get a lot of people thinking that it's an aide position, like I need to be, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
So
did we
if
put
it's
out an
okay,
advertisement for the legislative
No,
aid?
because I really wanted to talk to all of you about this tonight and see
Okay.
how you felt.
Okay.
Are you
Just
okay
moving
with
forward,
this?
there should be because I've been under the assumption that the last 2 weeks, the board gave direction to advertise for it. I'm fine with having that conversation, but I've been waiting to do the interviews for that, so, okay, so you're gonna have human resources for next meeting and legislative aid.
Yes,
We're gonna do something with that.
I'd like to change it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, I don't know how we would change the title, but when you put legislative aid in, sadly, everybody thinks that it's somebody that thinks I need help in a different way.
Like political,
Like,
almost.
yeah. Yeah,
And are you, so the bookkeeper's asked for somebody to be hired in her office. I know the legislative aid was being split, so are we advertising for somebody to work in the bookkeeper's
the
office?
bookkeeping office, yes, we have it written up.
So do we need permission to advertise for that?
Yeah, can I do that also at the same time?
Okay, is
I
that
have
gonna
it
be,
written down.
is that gonna be at the next meeting?
No, I'd like to advertise for it now. Can we do that? Can't we just make a
We can
motion?
make a motion.
Is it what,
to-
is it
to
what?
You can
advertise
if we
for-
know
Two
what the
separate
title is.
positions.
Two
and what
separate
the- yeah.
Well,
positions.
time out, so, the other position we've always had, right? We're just advertising for what was always in there?
Right,
So
Accounting.
that's okay, but I really think you need to spell out, like, if we're changing this whole legislative aid thing, we should probably, like, talk about, is it just going back to the secretary for the supervisor position, or,
how do do you know how the other towns do this?
It's all different. I mean,
I
everybody
think
does it
everybody
differently.
chooses how they want to call it. I was
Yeah.
secretary to the supervisor. You could call it administrative assistant. to the
So
town
how about
I like
this?
administrative
You're getting
assistant,
by
but-
without a legislative aid, how about, can we work between now and the next meeting and have something put together that the board can all agree on and send out? I think that makes more sense than us sitting here trying to figure this out on the fly of,
Then that way you can decide what you want.
then you could figure out and craft exactly what you think you need, and then we do
Okay.
it right.
All right,
So I'll make a motion
That's
to allow
fine.
the town clerk to advertise for whatever
I would-
title that is,
the account assistant.
Accounting clerk,
Accounting clerk,
accounting clerk.
yeah,
part-time, I think, right? Part-time accounting clerk.
yeah, part-time.
I need a second.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye. That's all I have for that.
Okay, fund balance policy.
Just following up, everybody keeps
We-
asking me about this, and I don't know how to tell them. Has Warren worked on this at all?
Yeah, Warren has it. I sent it to him, and he's going to get back to me on it. The problem is that it was written, you know, a couple of years ago, and I know everybody has gotten it a couple of times. And because of that, so many of the laws have changed that I felt that he should look it over again. I mean, I have a copy of it here, but it's definitely not something we should be using without his knowledge.
Do you know how long we can expect? for
Yeah,
him?
I told him that I wanted it on the agenda for the 20th.
So we'll have something on the
Yes.
agenda? Okay.
Yeah,
Just because that actually spells out exactly, okay, we should have between 40 and 60% of yearly expenses in the fund balance. Anything over that needs to go into other accounts, and it gives us a guidance instead of just trying to figure out, for example, like this whole going over the tax cap. It would say, okay, you have excess of $1 million compared to the fund balance. You either need to transfer it into other accounts, or you need to do something with it. So I really want to push that this is, I know it's not required by law, but it will
Yeah,
give
right.
us as a board and the employees guidance of kind of where we should be at and some targets and goals. So, all right, so that'll be at the next meeting. Cool.
okay, 12F, future of Camp No Teaming. That's a very good question.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
so this is literally just a
we ha-
question because people keep asking me about this one too, and I have no idea what's going on with it, so.
Well, right now, it's very, very questionable. And I don't want to say too much because she asked me not to about other things that are going on. So, we have a meeting this Thursday again about Camp No Teaming. So I will have more information. Hopefully, we'll have the rest of the information to be able to send stuff to the board before the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
So back in July, I think I was at a meeting and I was 100% behind. I think we should take it over January 1st if the county, I mean, that's what the county originally wanted. And I think it's possible, and I think we can get
Yeah.
the residents behind it. Is that like kind of the path we're going, or is there a different path of?
Well, they've had some changes themselves, so I don't really want to say too much, because I don't want, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so who's going to this meeting?
Right now, Jennifer and I, because I was going to do it with Scott, but because of the time, Jen can take off and go with me.
So you've known about the meeting?
No, I just told her.
Okay.
Yeah, I just told her.
Was there a meeting prior to this meeting?
There was a meeting back a ways where they had called me last minute to come down, and that was it. They just wanted to go over some things that they were working on themselves that had been presented to them.
Okay. I think just overall, we need better communication on this. It should probably be an email to the entire board of, hey, I have a meeting with the county. Who wants to participate? Because it's kind of rough to find out at this meeting that you guys have a meeting scheduled with the county. The only reason I put this on here was I kind of was concerned when the budget has no money for Camp New Teaming, and then a resident gets up and asks, well, are we doing Camp New Teaming? And then it's stated, well, or do we have anything signed with Camp New Teaming? And they were told, well, not yet, but we're close to that. And me as a board member who funds all these programs have literally heard nothing about Camp New Teaming in months. So I just do not want to, as I said back in July, I want us to be at Camp New Teaming, but I can't be put up against the wall again last minute trying to put it all together. And I know it worked out well, but whatever you guys need. I wrote many emails back in July offering help. Nobody took me up on that. So there needs to be transparency with this. You owe it to the board members and you owe it to the public.
Okay, 12G, local business partnerships with recreation.
So again, this is just cleaning up some things that have been out there for a couple months now. Back in the end of winter, we partnered with a dance studio. Basically, the town offered dance lessons. They partnered with a business. Basically, all we did was put it out there and offer another program. We didn't run the program. We just took $10 or $15 from the registration and paid the company, local business, to do it. We have a proposal that we've had for months now for doing the same thing at a karate studio in town. Basically, they want to offer free seniors, completely free programs for seniors, a children's program for 4 weeks, and a parent-kid defense program for a set price. And they proposed a contract. We've talked about it, not in public, but we've talked about legal stuff. I'm just proposing that there was concerns, one of them being that discounts for employees. I 100% agree. Any of these programs, including probably Skyhawks in them, where we pay a third-party group. If you don't know, we give discounts to volunteers and town employees. But with a setup like this, and we learned that with the dance studio, is that we're paying them a flat rate to run, so we can't really offer up a town employee a discount on that because the town's actually losing money for somebody to send their, my daughters to a dance class, which isn't right. So I have a resolution to allow it, and I think we need to change the policy and go back and actually change that discount and just say flat out, you're only allowed discounts if it's a true Pleasant Valley Rec program that we actually are holding and not a third party. But I think we all agree that local businesses are important, and this is just offering another program, and we've done it in the past. And I'm just wondering, can we support letting kids and adults go and do more recreation?
I have absolutely no problem doing that. I'm all about supporting small businesses. My husband's a small business owner, but I do not feel comfortable passing a resolution like this right now with it being, considering the business that is trying to partner with us. I am not comfortable doing that until after November.
Anybody
Okay.
else? Well, I'd like, I mean, personally, I think we should actually act on a resolution so you can give this business owner an answer, yes or no, because they sent emails to the town and I don't think any of us have responded. So I think we've had conversations that address what Councilwoman Chapman's talking about. I believe that you have a concern, but I think it's been explained that you unfortunately can't have that concern because it's not legal. But I really honestly think that we should be addressing and voting on a resolution, and if you guys don't want to do it, you don't do it, but at some point we need to make a decision because we haven't given them a decision. It's just kind of out there.
Well, I think now that they have heard this out in the public and they know, I think we should hold it off until the next meeting where we can all get to read the resolution and go forward.
Already sent over to the lawyers.
Yeah, you guys have had, it's,
I didn't see anything come back from the lawyers.
the lawyers responded.
What's that?
They've all responded. Not Emily, but Warren. The concern that people had is not a concern that we can stop from doing it, is the response I read.
I don't remember reading it, I'm sorry. I don't know when he sent it, but I don't remember it. I would just like to have a chance to really read through it and pay attention to it.
Okay, so when are you guys, what do you want to do? You guys, I mean, I'm just asking, when are you guys going to read through it? We've had it for months. I mean,
Well, I personally want more time to look through it. I didn't realize, and I hate to say this, but you're talking about communication tonight. You have to do the same thing. I had no idea what you were talking about when you put this on there, because everything that's put on the agenda, I have no idea about until I get the information from Mary Beth. I don't get emails, I don't get anything. So I would like a chance to look through it and read it, and also put together, what I completely agree with is a change for our employee discounts, because that was not a good situation that happened the last time. So I want to make sure that that gets taken care of.
so are you asking to have until the next meeting? And I can.
Yes, that's fine.
That's fine with me, but
Yeah.
we need to act on this either way. And I don't care either direction. We just need to give them an answer, is all I'm concerned about, is that nobody's responded. So that's legitimately the only reason. I don't care, but we need to respond to it. And just on the communication part of it, I've called you about 7 times and haven't received a phone call back. That's all I have on that.
Okay. 12H, interview process for town employees.
So I just want to talk about just the structure of this. So we've had the last legislative aid. Again, there was an email that was sent out of nowhere that just said that this is the person we're recommending. It's going to be on the agenda for the following week. And the question came up, well, how do we get to that point? And we had a discussion about I think actually, it was brought up that in the past, the applicants, their resumes were sent to the whole board, especially if it was something that the board, so the legislative aid reports to the board. Obviously, a rec assistant reports to the department head, so I would imagine you as the supervisor and the department head would deal with that, and we don't need to see that. But I just want to make sure, we've talked about this when Supervisor Delvecchio was on here. Moving forward, I just want to make sure that legislative aids anybody who reports to the board, department heads, that we're receiving all of the applications and all the resumes, and that the entire board is included in that process. Just moving forward, going back to kind of how it was always done.
Okay,
I just want
so
to make sure as a
I
board.
do
that's-
have to, I'm gonna say this, because setting it up for more than myself and another board member to interview is a very, very time-consuming problem. And, you know, I really, really feel that if we're sitting with somebody for half an hour, we've pretty much felt them out as much as we could. And we make it, and we can get 3 people, 4 people, whatever, make a decision, the people that are applying, I'm talking about, and then sit with them, make a decision, and go over it. And at that point, we could email everybody and let them know the 4 that we have broken it down to, and say something about each one. But to bring all of the board members in
I think I
to
misspoke.
approve.
That's not what I'm asking for.
Oh,
I'm not asking for all the
okay.
board members to interview them. I'm asking that the board members be offered the opportunity to be a part of the process. So just, I would like to, any of the people that we're interviewing, I'd like to see their resumes. Anybody, when the interviews actually are coming up, I'd like it offered to all of the board members, hey, is anybody available to participate? I'm not asking for all 5 board members to actually interview the person. I just want it to be a fair process where all of us have a chance to actually participate if we want to, and that we all have the resumes of, I don't care who interviews, I just want to know that interviews are happening and here are the people we're interviewing. And that's what we used to do. I'm not asking that all 5 of us need to interview them. Just, we should have the information, and we used to.
yeah, that's fine.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, all right. Okay, old business discussion, new town hall update.
So I'm just going to talk about the change orders. There's 2 change orders on here. One of them, the board kind of didn't approve, but voted on it, that in those specific sections, we worked with Todd, and we decided to go without grass, but put stone in there. It ended up costing the town about $2,000 more, but in the long run, we won't have to do any of the maintenance on that. And the other one was I don't have it in front of me, but I'm going to guess it was about 80 linear feet of underground piping, 6-inch pipe that had to be replaced or something. It was not working, and there's a change order in there for that. They're really getting into the detail stuff now. If you walk into the courtroom, it actually has like the layouts of the benches and everything else. A lot of stuff's going on, but there is a lot of moving parts now, and it's basically at least an hour every day of coordinating with the construction manager. I sent out an email today, and I've kind of spoken to Councilman Cookingham, so I don't want to take it away from him if he takes first dibs, but I just need somebody to help, and I will help, but I just need somebody to do the footwork on setting up the move between here and there. I just feel like I'm getting a little underwater here, and if somebody can take that off my plate, and I can kind of give you everything we've worked on, and then you can go with Emily and figure it all out. But I'm just looking for help in that area. And then the other thing is, if anybody's excited about like interior stuff, there's like countertops and stuff that okay, so you're signed up for that. We'll talk later. Basically, there's countertops and stuff that the general contractor's not putting in, but we need to plan on and like get a company to go in and like figure it out. Again, it's just time consuming, and between the AV and everything else that I'm doing, I just need to kind of start getting other people. So I'll hit you up on that. Anybody have questions about the new town hall? It's coming along. I can't wait to be out of here.
Coming along. We still on projection?
Always. Yeah, that changes by the day.
Yeah.
Okay, 13B, Pleasant Valley Weekend Update.
So there's really not much to say. We came, it went. We had a few hiccups here and there, a few blips, a few blurbs, but for the most part, I think everything went very well. The committee all worked together. We have 2 of our ladies here. They did a wonderful job. You know, we have a few kinks to work out for next year, but in the short amount of time, I would say it was pulled off pretty darn good, if you ask me. You know, unfortunately, I don't have any of the financials of how everything ended up working out in front of me right now. It wasn't given to me yet. So I would like to report back on that once that's all finalized. We're still dealing with vouchers and payments and whatnot. So once that's done, I'd like to go over that with everybody. But for the most part, everything went well. Everything went very, very well. And, you know, obviously there's going to always be people complaining. It's going to happen. It is what it is. But I definitely saw more good than bad. So, and we're always open to suggestions, always. My email's always open. So if anybody has any suggestions, by all means, send them over. So, but I think it went very, very well.
I just want to say you guys
Good,
did a great
thank you.
job in such a short period of time, and I do see the comments, and people are very opinionated, which is good. But we ask that, you know, maybe next year you can get involved and help and try to make
Volunteer.
it even better. So
Yeah.
Volunteer.
we put it out there every
50
year
hours
to
a
have
month.
volunteers, and it's the same people stepping up. So I applaud you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, on to resolutions. I'd like a motion for Resolution 1000 of 2025, accepting a proposed local law to override the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2026 pursuant to General Municipal Law 3C for commencement of the local law adoption process.
So moved.
Second.
Just
And then-
what are you filling in?
Yeah, we need to fill in. Mary Beth, can you give me a date?
It'd be close to do it on the 20th. It won't be in the
Can we-
paper that long.
Can we do it?
It's got to be within 10 days, so
Is that okay?
if Emily feels that's sufficient,
Okay.
that's good. Okay. The
All right.
20th?
So October 20th, 2025 at 7:05 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like a motion for Resolution 101 of 2025, authorizing payment of abstract 10P of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like a motion for Resolution 1002 of 2025, resolution approving change orders for general contractor for the new town hall project.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make tabs and then I still can't get them right. Okay. I actually I need to remove Resolution 1003 because we do not have enough information for the hiring. So I'd like to, we don't have, to. I can just, should I make a motion to
If you
cancel
put it
this?
on the agenda, you can pull it off.
I can, okay. So I would like to pull Resolution 1003 of 25. Okay, I'd like a motion for Resolution 1004 of 2025, a resolution approving change order for Katie Field basketball court installation.
So I'll make a motion to allow it on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And then I'll make a motion for the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Just hold
Hold
on.
What?
Can just somebody explain?
Oh, do you want me to explain what it is?
Yeah, I
sorry.
haven't heard anything about this. so-
Okay, this just came in today from Dan. So NatureWorks is doing the work. There are some changes that they have to make to put temporary lines down because they're not gonna be able to be done because of the cold. And the chain link fence gates, we had to make some changes to them because otherwise the guys wouldn't be able to get in there with certain things for them to do work on it. And then the concrete walkway, we weren't real thrilled with the way it turned. So when we were out there together, we decided to make it longer so that it wouldn't be such an angle, so if people have to come up with a wheelchair, they would come up straight instead of going like that. It was too much of a curve and too much of an incline. So now it's gonna be a little bit flatter and go up much more gradual. And then they need to remove some existing posts and sleeve with new vinyl coated posts into the foundation that I'm not sure they realized was gonna have to be done. So this is actually a change order that is going to take up the amount that we had allotted for almost like a contingency for the project.
I appreciate it.
With that said, though, that will take up the total allotment for the project?
No, it's about, what, 5,000?
I'm just
Something like
wondering, because I
that.
just got on
Yeah,
it
it's
with.
15, it's 15 total and then minus this, so it's, just under 5,000.
Just because I
We'll
got
have left, we'll still have left.
Okay, just because I want to make sure I have everything set for the lighting back there.
Oh,
That's
okay,
still,
okay,
because
okay,
I just got that thrown on me on
yeah,
Thursday with Dan, and I got to meet with them
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's all. I just don't want to have
okay,
to come back and say, hey,
okay.
that's all. I just
Yeah.
don't want to use up.
Well, that wasn't part of it to begin with, that wasn't part of their initial, package.
Okay,
So that wasn't part of NatureWorks' bid.
right.
That was never added with that. It's
Okay.
gonna be it's gonna be lighting, what he's talking about, lighting for the basketball courts and for the playground area.
For the playground. Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure we're not perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like a motion, to open the public comment.
We just have to vote.
I'm sorry. Oh, we didn't vote. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
I always forget that very important part. I'd like to make a motion to open the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And this, ma'am, is for any business. Well, we don't have do we have that other microphone?
It's just the people watching
The people
on
watching can't
live.
hear
They
you.
won't be able to hear you.
Jackie Allerton, I live in Clayton Avenue in Saw Point. I have a safety concern that I can't believe has never been resolved. If you exit the parking lot, the Acme parking lot onto North Avenue, there's a stop sign there just before the exit in the front of the parking lot. Twice, I've almost been T-boned with my great-grandchildren in the car because people cannot see the stop sign coming out the other way, the long way, because there's limbs in front of the stop sign. I have called the highway department at least twice, left name, address, what the problem was, and the limbs are still covering the stop sign.
You're talking about going out on a North Avenue, right?
North
Where you
Avenue.
come out of the parking
Yeah,
lot for
like where you-
Acme, you can come the
Yep.
sideways here?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Okay.
So now I get up there and I know I have the right of way to go out, but I don't. I sit there and wait for that car that's barreling down, and at the last minute, oh, there's the stop sign, and sometimes they stop and sometimes they don't. I'm afraid somebody's gonna get seriously injured there.
Okay.
I mean, I've thought about taking a saw myself and going over and sawing the limbs off, but It really needs to be taken, and the town doesn't answer me. The highway department doesn't answer me. No one's
Well,
ever answered
the
me.
problem is it's on private property, isn't it? Yeah, that's all private property, but
Oh, then I'm
we'll
taking
see if
this
we
off.
can get, we'll see if we can get,
I'm taking this off.
so, yeah.
I work at night. I'm out in the village
We
here
do,
at the town
we
at
do
3
have a
o'clock in
way
the
of
morning.
getting a hold of the owners of Acme, and we'll put a call into them and see what they can do for us.
Okay,
They
great.
have maintenance people, so
Okay. All right, thank you.
you're welcome. I'm sorry you had to wait so long, but,
It might be a violation of their site plan
yeah.
for zoning, yeah.
He's not that hard to deal with.
Austin Ackerbauer, Billmar Boulevard, Pleasant Valley. I'm new here. I've been coming for a while, but it's my first time speaking. Couple questions just that I've been following along as you guys have discussed them. 12A regarding the override of the tax levy. There was mention of in the event of or extenuating circumstances. I'm just curious what extenuating circumstance would warrant a tax levy when there's multiple millions of dollars left in that general fund that would cause us to then be taxed further on that. I don't know if this is like open forum where you can respond or not.
Well, yeah, I have to tell you something. It doesn't take much to have a 0.5%, another go to get into to another area. So it sounds like it might be a lot to get to the 2%, but it's really not. So we try, right now, we are trying extremely hard with everything that's gone on with everybody this year, and in the past few years, we have had to go on into a negative. So we're trying very, very hard to keep it under. I cannot foresee us doing this, but I'm telling you, I know that someday, as soon as nobody gets used to doing this every year, something's gonna happen.
Okay. Secondly, I may have missed it because I stepped out to use the bathroom. 12G, local businesses partnerships with recreation. Was there mention of a specific business that had inquired that? If it was mentioned, I just missed it, and I figured I'd ask. Or is there some?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's just like Bradley Studio.
Oh, okay. I was just curious why there was a lot of back and forth with that. 13A, which would be my last one, and thank you for hearing me out. You had mentioned Reifenberg, Councilman Reifenberg, that the GC had mentioned that there are certain things that are not included in their proposal, countertops, whatever else. I just wonder if it'd be worth, or the logistics of opening that up. I know there's a lot of local construction companies in Pleasant Valley. I think myself included, I bid on doing the gutters however long ago. I think it'd be fun to open it up to town members first to say, hey, we need countertops put in. Let's inquire within our own constituents and just give them that opportunity to say 60 years from now, I put the counters, or you know what I mean? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary Vitter, Salt Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. When a lot of these plans were put in place for plazas, businesses, there were restrictions with signs. Somehow those signs have disappeared. This is part of what the other lady. One is Duncan. That exit was, that's not an exit, that's only an entrance. That's the way it was approved. I have no idea what was approved for Acme, but that intersection with that other one coming out on there was a sign that you can't enter that way. There's no sign now. That's number one. Number two, I can not think of a reason why that exit is even there.
Which one are you talking about, Gary? The one we
The
were just
little
talking
one,
about?
The little one that parallels
That little
north.
side thing?
Yeah, it's an accident.
It's
about
called
ready to
laziness.
happen.
That's probably why they put it there.
I'm sorry.
Laziness.
What?
It's laziness. I mean, it's just somebody that doesn't want to drive from that part of the parking lot out and around to go out.
Oh,
That's
what?
why it was put in.
Okay. But the stop sign is in the wrong place. The main one coming down should be the throughway, and the little one coming to the side should be the stop sign. But and the last thing is, I guess it's just me, but I listen to the votes. Sometimes I don't hear some of you voting. We still don't ask for nay votes. We should.
I will start asking for nay votes. You may have to go like that and remind me, but I'll do it.
Okay. And it did make a bit of a difference here tonight because that override has a different requirement in the voting. That requires 60%. Thank you.
Rocco DeVito, 66 Drake Road. I'm just wondering if the board plans on passing the property maintenance law, because we've had 2 public hearings about it, and from me coming both times, I've seen the public overwhelmingly not want it. So, and I know it goes back, you guys say we're gonna go back and we're gonna redraft. I'm just wondering is, no matter what, a law coming in on it, or is it, because what are you having public hearings for hearing from everybody in the town if some kind of law is coming from it, you know? So I guess I'm just asking the board, you know, is there a law that's coming for it?
Well, right now, I think that we are all in agreement that we would like to close it right now completely and just redo it.
Right,
see
so
where we get.
redo is, so that means there is some kind of law that's gonna come.
Eventually,
Okay.
yeah.
So
yeah.
then, even though the public has shown up and said they don't want this, they completely oppose a law?
Well,
Or are we
we're
gonna
going to
keep-
take everybody's thoughts and whatnot into consideration. We will definitely do
There's
that.
some
That's
crazy
why
things
I'm
in
glad,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
and that's
There's
why
some
I'm
crazy
glad,
things in there that I'm not okay with.
yeah.
Uh,
But I'm happy everybody gave us their opinions tonight on it. That really helps.
Sure.
And anybody that wants to email to give some ideas, that's fine also. All
Because-
of our emails are online.
Because I really haven't seen anybody, maybe one person has shown up and said they were for this. Everybody else has denied and said they don't want it. So I guess I'm just wondering, like, how many times do I gotta keep coming and saying,
No,
we don't want
we're gonna
this?
chop that thing up.
Yeah?
We're gonna chop that up, 'cause
So then it's gonna
we're
be
not
open
okay
again
with
to
it.
public again?
Correct.
and-
Yes.
Yeah.
we will do it again, but it will be completely restructured.
Okay.
Like I said the last time, I mean, a lot of the stuff we already have on the books and
Yeah,
that
we already
Warren
have some of
stated,
this.
we're not following through with those.
Mm-hmm.
And before we can really jump in and start tweaking something else, we gotta be following what we already got on the books.
Yep.
Okay, and you and the other lady that already left, I mean, I am trying to think, and unfortunately I can't ask my father anymore, but I swore we used to have a town cleanup where you could get a ticket
We
for a
did.
truckload.
Yeah.
We
And
did.
you used to be able to, because I remember every year I was the one that had to do it for him, you know, and go around and clean stuff up around the house, and boom, you got one ticket per family, you know, property owner. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, with trying to get things picked up and cleaned up, and then the other lady stated, you know, not everybody has that ability. And then listening to Mary Beth, I mean, I think that Adopt a Kid program that Kirchhoff's had back in the day, I think is something that's awesome, where we could have some of the kids, you know, I teach out at the high school, there are, all the seniors are looking for a community service and hours. That'd be a perfect way for kids in Pleasant Valley to get their hours and help pick up, clean up, and, you know, I'll let
Yeah.
my truck, or, you know, neighbors would allow their truck to be there to kind of get things cleaned up and, you know, do that. So, I mean, those are definitely things that, you know, I agree, you know, the one thing that, you know, Warren stated there, you know, the lawn being too high, we don't need neighbor versus neighbor. We're supposed to reach out if they need a hand and, you know, hey, you know, I see you maybe not getting mowed, is there maybe a medical reason or something like that, you know, or people unfortunately just might not have a chainsaw if something falls down and stuff like that, and calling the tree service isn't the cheapest date, you know?
Yeah, I'm still cleaning up
Right.
from that storm in
Right,
July.
you know what I mean, so I understand that, you know, so, but that's, we're definitely all against it, and, you know, and we're definitely listening to everybody that's coming in to state things, you know? Because we don't want a law that everybody that came in and nicely took time out of their schedule also to say, hey, they did it anyway, that's not what we want.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yep.
And,
Thank you.
I know she left, but I wanted to just really thank for Pleasant Valley Weekend. I think she did a great job. I think that everybody in the rec department did a really great job. My daughters enjoyed it a lot.
So glad.
It was
Thank
a
you.
beautiful
Thank you.
thing, and same thing. I know there was a lot of people that were hating on it on the comments, but please ignore all those because most
Mary's
of us
still
had
here,
fun.
too.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Thank you. You guys did great. They loved it. And,
It was a lot of work.
yeah, I
Takes a
could
small
tell.
village.
And it really didn't cost us anything, you know, food. But you guys, thank you so much. That was really great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, Arun Fricker, 117 Valley Road. This actually came up the last time. I think Dan brought up the grass maintenance law, which was somewhat egregious. I guess I would just request that we revisit that law and specifically the punishments. I think also.
You didn't want the 15 days in jail?
I would prefer not to, but I think that's something that should be looked at immediately because it's current law that exists and it's
But-
not appropriate based on everything that we're talking about.
Thank you.
Yep.
I agree. The only thing is, again, it's on the books and we're not following through, at least with the fines, you know, but it definitely should be changed up.
Yep.
Mary?
Anyone else?
Mary?
Yes.
May I make a comment about the cleanup?
Sure.
So when I first started here, there was the cleanup. So what would happen was a truck would get 2 loads a year, a car would get 4 loads a year, and the clerk's office would give out a ticket, and within the year, you can dump your big items. There wasn't one day that was assigned to throwing out all of your garbage, you know, the extra junk. It was through the year. And the only reason why it stopped, because we did it for a few years, was because hauling it out became very expensive. That was the only reason why it stopped. But it was like an all-year thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll have to revisit some of it. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay. I'd like to make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Emily, is there anything that
Town
you-
board.
Oh, I'm sorry. Town board comments.
Yeah,
which
I
thought we already
have
did, but-
two things. First of all, I want to shout out, I didn't catch his name earlier, but we have a Boy Scout from Troop 37 at Hyde Park in the back hiding. He's here to work on a merit badge. I was a scout in Hyde Park as well for them. So thank you for coming. And then I just want to address, somebody brought up brush being brought to the transfer station up in Lake Luzerne, very small town. Maybe they don't even break 1,000 people in off season, but they take brush all year long for free. And what they do is they actually chip it up and then make it into mulch, and then the residents get free mulch and take it back out. So it's kind of a free recycling of, get the brush off the property, but then you can get it for free to mulch your gardens or whatever. So maybe that's something we can look at. That's all I got.
Anyone else? Okay, I would like, we are not going to go into executive session, so So I'd like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight.